I'm having a bit of trouble making this video actually because I'm sort of angry. I'm very angry actually. This fellow here, 61 years old, he was sent to prison during the following the Southport riots. Apparently his offence was to shout to the police, "You're protecting people who are killing our kids and raping them." Yep, that's what got him sent to jail for 2 years. All you guys in America, thank your lucky stars you're not living in a police state. God, how that hurt me to have to say that about Britain. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. So, according to the prison service, he's believed to have committed suicide. Yeah, my kids used to believe in the tooth fairy as well. And David Atherton says his offence was to shout to the police, "You're protecting people who are killing our kids and raping them." So that is what David Atherton has to say about the incident. And he sent it to the Minister of Justice, the Home Secretary, and our dear leader, Keir Starmer. Also GB News. David Atherton had him as Peter Lynch. The Telegraph had him as rioter. Rioter dies in prison after being jailed for 2 years. And then they say Peter Lynch, a grandfather, was convicted of violent disorder at a hotel in Rotherham which houses asylum seekers. Oh, you have to protect asylum seekers at all costs. And in this case, the cost was this man's life and a family deprived of a grandfather. And I'll get back to the Telegraph in a minute because they're reporting the situation. But so let's just recap. To David Atherton, this chap was Peter Lynch. To the Telegraph, he was rioter. And to the BBC, he's asylum hotel rioter. Do you see the subtle difference here? One was just a man's name. The other was a rioter, and this one, asylum hotel rioter, which makes it worse because he was rioting against people who were seeking asylum. Let's just set aside the fact that these so-called asylum seekers are mostly economic migrants and frequently violent ones as well. A grandfather convicted of violent disorder after taking part in rioting outside a hotel used to house asylum seekers has died in prison. As with all deaths in custody, the Prisons and Probation Ombudsman will investigate, the spokesperson added. Yeah, well, he's dead. He's dead. You can investigate all you like. He's dead. His family no longer have that grandfather, and he will no longer play with his grandchildren. So you can have your investigation. Before he went to jail, he had suffered a heart attack earlier in the year, and he had diabetes. Well, I think you can see he probably didn't live a very healthy life. His defence barrister said he had a general conspiracy theory, so he had this type of mindset. But he was actually convicted of revving up the situation and calling the police scum. I don't reckon that qualifies for a 2-year prison sentence myself. And they don't say anything about quite what happened. The Telegraph, on the other hand, do. Rioter dies in prison. I'll read you more of how they reported it. A grandfather jailed for violent disorder and abusing police. There is no such thing as abusing police. There is no such crime. They had to make that one up. Peter Lynch, described as a conspiracy theorist in his court hearing, is believed to have taken his own life on Saturday night. Right, well, he's believed, I don't know by whom, because I don't believe, but then I'm an old skeptic. The court was told Lynch went to the Holiday Inn Express in Manvers, Rotherham on August the 4th with a placard which called police officers, MP and the media corrupt. Oh, and aren't they? I'm puzzled now. Lynch shouted racist and provocative remarks towards officers and called asylum seekers in the hotel child killers. Well, they should sue him for libel then, shouldn't they? His death in jail will now be investigated by the Prisons and Probation Ombudsman. Yeah. Well, as I say, they can investigate. It won't bring him back. And his placard referenced the Deep State and Space Agency, NASA. Video played to the court showed Lynch revving up the situation before it turned violent. I don't know what this revving up business means. As far as I know, that is not a criminal offence. He was filmed calling the police scum. Okay, I'm on YouTube. Remember, you're on YouTube. Remember. Okay. His sign and protest was not unlawful, it says here. But his verbal abuse towards police officers during the racist incident crossed the line, the recorder added. What racist incident? All I've seen so far is he's called the police scum. I believe that is not a racist word. So he was a full participant in the disorder, and you were unquestionably endeavouring to rev up the situation. They're using that rather a lot. Generally speaking, in life experience and as a teacher, I have noticed that when people keep on repeating the same things again and again, it's more to convince themselves than anyone else. He said that the civil service judges and the Environment Agency were all corrupt. That's news? That's even contentious? What? So they imprisoned this man, and in order to make room for him in our overcrowded prisons, they released people who had been convicted of sex offence and went on to commit another one once they were out. But of course, that's much better than having this guy walking around free. Or waddling around free. Ian Atchison, a former prison governor and government advisor, said, "Any death in custody is a tragedy. Not all can be prevented. However, the profile of this offender, rightly jailed," he had to say that, rightly. No, he could have had a community order or probation or anything like that. Couldn't he? So he had to say rightly, and he's wrong there too. Rightly jailed for his role in rioting suggests to me he ought to have at least been considered as a suicide risk. Yet also he should have been at least considered a possible murder victim. Now there's just one thing I have to find here. Excuse me. I still haven't forgotten this guy. Kevin Crean, I will not forget him, although the British judiciary seem to want to forget him. He was jailed for a stupid practical joke, a ham sandwich on the door of a mosque or something. And he was jailed for a year, and 6 months later he was dead. I still haven't heard what the prison service said he died of. But I'm assuming it was the same tooth fairy that this guy died of. Right, and to finish off about who should be in jail, it occurred to me that you really are in trouble when you've incurred the displeasure of the sort of people who spray paint graffiti on walls and windows. Then you really have hit the bottom of the barrel. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.